Hey everyone, we are back for our fourth episode. We are going to play the bridge. So that's the mission where you have to capture Sokolov. Harvey is with us. Then everybody knows Harvey, so I'm not going to reintroduce Harvey. We have Étienne Aubert, who was lead combat animator on Dishonored. Then we have Xavier Sadoulet, who was back then you were AI programmer, I believe, Xavier. And then we have Yoann Saquet, who was the level designer of the bridge. So as usual, I'm going to play the game to the best of my ability as I'm being distracted, trying to speak as well as I'm playing. So it's always a little, of course, confusing. But let's do it. Harvey, do you want to set up the story part for this level while I'm loading?
I'm squeezing in my lunch, eating cereal, so I've been muting so it's not crunching in your ear. But God, you put me on the spot. The inventor and royal physician Anton Sokolov lives on Kaldwin's bridge. He has an apartment there. And they send you to capture him, and I cannot remember why. John, you
I remember why. I remember why.
Okay, go.
Because we had to know the identity of the Lord Regent's mistress or something like that, right?
Right. The Lord Regent's army, his military is being funded by some rich aristocrat who's equally corrupt as him. And Sokolov painted her for him as one of the classic Sokolov paintings that you can find across the game. So yes, that's right.
Yeah, so only him has met her or something. So that's pretty much the reason why we're going there. As you were speaking, I was looking a little bit at the player mobility since we have Étienne, who was key to that effort. I think I talked little bit about it before, but I really like how everything feels like there's a bit of momentum. There's a bit of the jump, also the reception to the jump, the springy effect, etc. That took quite a while. Do you remember, Etienne? I mean, we've been working together since Dark Messiah by Magic, so there was a lot. We were both very much into these kind of things. But I know, in the case of Dishonored, it was our third or fourth iteration of that because we had worked on other games that never shipped in between.
Yeah, I remember perfectly this. Problem is that, as always, because of our background and our previous games, we wanted to have a full body, and we said what's really cool is when you can look down, see your feet, see even your body. You can see your armor and your different outfits. And when we began Dishonored, the idea was the same. But the problem that you have to face with full body in first person is that you are constantly fighting between mobility and smoothness and the fact that you have realistic movement. Because then your camera is stuck on top of your body. And if your body move like in real life, then you have a lot of little movement that in your life you don't perceive because your brain is just adapting to it. In a video game, it's totally different. So I think we spend a lot of time, nearly the whole production, to constantly tweak the movement, decide to remove some part. And of course, here it was mobility and gameplay that was really the main focus. So
Yeah.
we did some of the stuff in favor of that.
So we made this weird counterintuitive move of saying, well, we're going to remove the body awareness, in fact, and it's going to be better. Which after having done it for Dark Messiah, where we actually could have the body, and it was kind of cool. but it was also distracting. You would look down and you would see your feet moving in ways that were not very realistic. And so, like, by removing entirely the body, nobody really complained that you could not see the body. And that's how we. Even the mentor, you don't even see your hands or anything. It just goes there and it works, right? It's an interesting.
We did partial body awareness, either on this game or in Dishonored 2, where you see more of the hands and the legs.
Yes, when you slide. That's why I was trying to slide to see if we did it here, because I couldn't remember, because I remember that too, and I don't see it here. So I guess we did not, or did we do it?
I just wanted to say that there was a period of time where the industry went through this. Like Raph and I have talked about, like how the no HUD, no UI was like a popular thing for a while, and it seems like such a good idea. You try it, and then you realize, yeah, but players, when they have the information, they can just act more quickly. They know what's going on instantly. And same with the body. At Ion Storm, we tried the same thing where we thought let's go one step further and have the full body there. And then you realize after a while you can't squeeze into certain spots, that, if you have an abstracted idea of the body, you can squeeze into different crouch spots and all. So it's exactly as Étienne said, you're constantly fighting between different things.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say something. The scene in The Lord of the Rings when they're going to the mines of Moria? It's just a mine in a mountain, right? But Gimli, the dwarf, says, they call it a mine. A
mine.
Yeah, exactly, because it's so much more than that. And I feel like anytime someone says Étienne was an animator on the project, it's like, I'm an animator.
Yeah, he was part of the design. Yeah.
Crucial part of the game design, crucial part of the combat.
Yeah.
Great leader on the team. So all the way around this thing. I remember Looking Glass doing a little bit of this with Thief. The springiness of the camera. We did a little bit of it at Ion Storm, but Arkane really mastered it. And this was kind of like the pinnacle. This or Dishonored 2, I feel like, was the pinnacle of this kind of movement. And Etienne's you spearheaded so much of that.
Yeah, and also we had another lead animator who was for everything else, the cinema, the scripted scenes, and his name was Damien Poujon. I don't know if we'll have him on the YouTube's videos at some point, but I hope we'll do. But here, for example, even the climbing, it's again no hands. And I remember on Dark Messiah we had exactly the same mechanic, but we could see the hands, and it was causing all sort of problems. Like, what do you do with the weapons? So now you have to shift them real quick, etc. Anyway, back to the game. I got caught earlier, and I was thinking, why couldn't I fit behind that cover over there? But Yoann, the game has shipped already, so we can't have you change that. But
Great. But yeah, looked like a good hideout.
By the way, thank you for mentioning Damien Poujon, because he was the lead animator on Dishonored 2, and I think we built up, even internal to Arkane Lyon and also with external people from Chrysalid, I think we had like 12 animators at some point. And I remember the project was about a year late, and he and his family had scheduled a sailing trip around the world. And we were like, well, that'll be way down the road. And then as we got closer and closer to being a year late, he was like, guys, I have to go. I have to take this little boat and my family, and we're going to sail away. And so it was like a big deal for the project for him to, well, we were happy. We were happy he went on his trip, and that he survived and all that. But like, still, it was like a survive. But I wouldn't go on a boat go around the world. No fucking way.
Anyway, so yeah, the idea of this is whenever there are little anecdotes, so I'm playing, it gives context for little stories, dev stories that we have. Whether it's in systems or level design or story or whatever we want, we can. So Yoann, if you have something at this point that you will remember, for example, I remember, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right with this one. The bridge used to have, was it at about twice as long before? Like there were 4 or 5 parts, right? And then we ended up with 3 only, or 2. What was the original, and how did we end up?
I know it's 4 actually.
Is it 4 now? Okay.
I think it's actually like 1A, 1B, 1C, because it's part 1 and part 2 split in 2. and we had to split the first part into even smaller parts because of performance. But yeah, it changed so much. Like,
Wasn't
probably
it
initially
true?
It was just one.
Yoann, it was one map initially. It's like
I think
one
so. Yeah.
fucking map, and then we divided it up into other pieces. Yeah.
Right. But I remember we
The
reduced
mission
it.
design was super different.
It was super different. Yeah, it's way more focused at the end when we shipped compared to the very first versions where you could. I remember that bridge was so interconnected.
The very first, when we talked about it, people assumed it would just be like a very linear path. But man, the level design team did a brilliant job of like making it like actually vertical and putting like other buildings. You could, other pathways, very good traversal to leave a window and go along a ledge. And of course, if you fall in the water, that's a thing. But it was unique among all the maps because of the water, I think.
This is a good example of, so here there is a puzzle and I'm not even sure what I was exactly doing, but sometimes you see things that are interactive, so it gives you a bit of a direction, even though I did not have the true intention of doing anything specific, because I was like, what am I supposed to do here? I see that there's a lever there where I can, obviously it's probably gonna activate this wagon, but then other than that, I don't really know what to do. And then I realized that as I'm rotating this thing, it's moving the chain over there, so it somehow indicates me that I probably should use that chain for something, I guess, to go somewhere, like maybe on the other side to get that thing over there, right? That's probably it. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, just for the mission, I think initially, if I remember correctly, the whole thing was like neutral. People were not hostile before the curfew. We had a whole thing for the curfew where you could visit the place and like kind of spot different, I don't know, like where you want it to be, and then Sokolov would arrive later on the mission. So like the mission didn't change
Oh yeah,
completely.
yeah, we simplified it a little bit. Yeah, man, that was a hard job. Yeah, it's true. I was gonna say we managed to do a pretty good balance between exploration, action, combat, but also those puzzles. I really like those puzzles. Almost like a little bit similar to Half-Life 2, I guess, where there are moments where we force the player to think for a minute and resolve something that often involves physics or something like to that effect, right?
Yeah, we usually have 3 or 4 solutions, but sometimes we have to stop the player hard. There's a wall of light or a gate, and it just like alternation of experience. Combat for a while, sneaking for a while, narrative for a while, interpreting environmental storytelling, then puzzle for a while, then combat again.
Right. And all of this with the systemic layer, which of course adds a lot of fun, but also a lot of complexity for the designers.
And for the programmers too.
No. All right. What was something that you remember was challenging on the AI side, Xavier?
I mean, so my memory is a bit blurry. So there's things I don't remember if we did it on the first one and the second ones. But for instance, like we do some pretty cool, interesting things, like being able to hide in the like those big container when you throw away stuff, and actually the NPC are able to find you in there, and and I remember that we had no animation to have the NPC precisely open the container, and so I just decided that, you know what, they are going to kick it, and so they kick it and it burst open, and then they see you and they attack you there. So yeah, I saw you pass by one of those containers earlier on. I was like, oh,
Should have told me.
does this work in the game?
I don't have the key for this door. I think I recall we could break them with the gun, right? Okay, or can't we? We should. If not, we're gonna have to patch that.
We can certainly
Yeah.
try.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it works. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was just thinking about what Zab was talking about with the dumpsters. I remember, didn't the guards, when they open it, didn't they reach in with their sword or something?
So in the dumpster case, they do not. They do regular attack, but we have something even better. But I will wait until I see one, and I will explain you guys.
Like AI programmers,
even better use case.
the AI programmers on this project have to work miracles, though, because the player can go so many places, so mobile. And then you have situations where you're carrying a body, but the body's not dead, and they have to react in such a way to what are you doing with the guy? They have to handle so many crazy situations that the player can get into.
All right, I just got the double jump because that's a lifesaver. Oh shit!
Like, I remember on Elden Ring playing that, we finally figured out the sprint jump. That's like similar, like it changes the whole game.
There you go. That was nice.
You should explain throw hit reacts, man.
Oh yeah. So that was a big layer. That was part of Dark Messiah back in the day, where we had an entire one of the component of combat was physics, where we want to make sure that you feel connected to the world. When you hit, we wanted this, this sword to connect. Like, well, okay, I just make noise. We wanted the sword to connect with the NPCs, with the world in general. So if you're slashing at a physic, you want it to bounce the right way, etc. But what we had at some point was, of course, the detection of if there's a fall or something that the NPCs could collide with when you hit them. You want to see that. You want that dramatic thing. Like here, there was an empty space behind the guy. Then it was a perfect opportunity to do this dramatic fall into the water and him screaming in the way, which is, of course, very satisfying.
Is that an algorithmic check that's done, or is there markup on the railing?
No marker, of course. You know that. You knew the answer.
There's no marker.
You just baited us.
Yeah, but Dark Messiah had the kick. So you guys had spikes on the wall and just glass furniture.
And we overdid it.
Whoever decorated this place, they went crazy with dangerous furniture. So if you hit or kick someone, they would like impale themselves. Or go over the railing, and it works so well in Dishonored.
Yeah, to be fair, in the case of Dark Messiah, we overdid it because we were late, and the publisher liked that moment so much that they kind of forced us to do it everywhere by the end of the, between the stretch of alpha to beta. They were like, okay, guys, it's the spikes, do them everywhere. So that's kind of like what ended up happening in the game.
I remember when we started working on Dishonored, you were so sensitive to that because, people would make little jokes about running and kicking constantly or whatever.
Yeah.
You guys had tried stamina and all kinds of things, and we debated whether we should have a kick in this because everyone loves the kick. It's fantastic in Dark Messiah.
Yeah, but it was broken. At some point, Dark Messiah was the kicking game. And that was way more effective.
It was too much.
Run and kick.
Right.
So we have to manage this.
Yoann, do you remember how I can I go there? Is that a locked door over there, or what is it? Because I kind of feel like I want to go around it, but I don't know. These guys keep on hearing me. Like I want to go there. Can I go there from here?
This is just like optional thing where I think you have a bone charm probably. And like it's different depending on, I don't know if you are low chaos or high chaos.
Well, at this point, I'm super high chaos, man. I play super sloppy. But do you think I can make it, like if I jump and then use the blink on the way there?
You can totally make it.
I can totally try it.
Yeah. All damage, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. That too comes from Dark Messiah, by the way.
The drop attack.
The when they're on the floor and then you impale them.
I love the lesser guards so much. The two goofy guys that we have, and I remember watching Train Spotting And we modeled one of the guys kind of after Train Spotting character.
Okay, so I guess you're saying it's optional, so I'm gonna get some runes. I need runes anyway. I'm a little low on runes. I hear some weepers somewhere.
Yeah, I think in low chaos it's like normal civilian, but like in high chaos it's a Reaper.
Do you,
Different.
it's funny because as an afterthought, so everybody loved the chaos system in Dishonored. As an afterthought, though, I'm thinking, how could we have indicated to the player that what they're seeing right now is a result of low chaos? Because it's not easy. You kind of like all of it is a bit subjective. It's like, well, if I don't know that it's because of low chaos, that just probably the players don't see the work that we've done around that, right?
Yeah, it's a constant conversation about how anytime you have a consequence system, which inputs go into it and do they make sense to people and what are the outcomes, and does it seem like a logical outcome or does it seem punitive? It's a big mess, but at the same time, without it, the game is less interesting.
Yeah. It's but it's you always want somehow to make sure that the players realize that they are seeing a consequence to something that they did. So, for example, there are some bits of the games that are more obviously connected. If you did something like if you saved one of the characters in the High Overseer's mission, then this character will thank you later or something, right? So, or at least her niece will tell you thank you for saving my uncle. So that's an obvious consequence to something you did. Whereas the chaos system is a little more blurry.
Yeah, it had abstract outcomes, and some people argued with even the inputs, but at another, on another project that was never announced and never finished or whatever, we were talking about a similar system, and we were talking about more one-to-one consequences that would always make sense, which is maybe more work and is less liquid input to this output, but it would certainly make more sense to players.
Right.
Hey, by the way, does everybody remember that the bridge was our E3 demo?
Yes.
Yeah, so when we had to show the game to the public, it was the bridge level.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. I mean, people generally loved it. They tried all these different things, but I had this one guy walk up, and I think Raph was demoing and interviewing. I was demoing and interviewing. Ricardo was there. Maybe Mit was running around in the background. Sebastian Mittal, the art director. And some guy walked up to me and he was like, "Hey man, I just finished your E3 demo in like less than 5 minutes." And he had like jumped to the corner of a building, blink, seen Sokolov, knocked him out, blinked back, got to the boat with Samuel, and it was like, I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, right?" And he was like, "Seems like a flaw." And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "You're one in a million people that just did it exactly right there, but in another mission, you'll probably take the long route, and that's okay with us. We're excited that happened for you." But it was really an interesting moment where he sort of gotcha, like
Yeah.
and it was like,
Which is kind of like what we want, but yeah, it's true. Some players, I've seen that on Twitter too. I've seen a player saying, "I hated this game. All I did was running to the exit every time and avoiding combat. I finished it in no time." I was like, "All right, well, this." Different players, different tastes. Wasn't there a puzzle here in the that was
For
in the
combination
paintings,
of the
right?
safe.
It's
Yes.
the combination of the safe is hidden in the paintings, something like that. How many? Well, like there are 3 paintings, I think, somehow that have a number in there. But I was just looking at one and I can't find the number. So, is that one of them? No, it's not. That was, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's one.
Is it one?
At the front of the ship.
Oh shit! It's 7. Okay, so we have a 7.
Don't tell him.
It's too
Nah.
obvious. Come on.
it's just an example of
When you don't know, you don't know. It's
we were
Yeah.
constantly doing world building. Like that says Tivia, the frozen ice in one of our ships that Sebastian Matton, Jean-Luc Monet, and Victor Antonov designed, and it's breaking through the ice. And we had on our map this like frozen north Russian-like area, right? As you were just constantly world building, even though you never get to go there, you see it, you have a sense of it. And there's also like what you just said about the puzzle, about the numbers, man. It is so hard to make puzzles because you make a puzzle and some guy goes, "Oh, it was obvious. It was too simple. I hated it." And some guy was like, "I never figured it out." And like it's just like balancing that is almost impossible. You just have to throw a mix in there.
Did you guys see that masterful move I did?
That was nice.
That was
And then,
nice. All right.
Can this guy fight?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a sword,
Yeah.
so I guess
Yeah,
he
you can.
would.
All right.
Yeah, I think you can.
You were telling me that I did that for no reason, right?
No, absolutely not. No, I was wondering like if like it was a civilian because like something that we realized at the end of Dishonored is that we had that beautiful attention concept that we had designed for the guards, etc. And that was working nice. And then we had civilian and everything broke. And the funniest things about that is that after for Dishonored 2, we did exactly the same mistake with the same effect, and then we had to like retrofit the concept for all civilians, etc. Because like what a civilian would do is so different that what a guard would do. Then they cannot have exactly the same way of perceiving and the same thing with attention, etc. So you have to be careful about those things.
I see. So we have a 7, a 3, and I'm missing 1. Or 4. All right, 7, 3, 4. There we go.
A small one.
Yeah. No, that was such a cool puzzle because it's also if you find only 2 of them, you can still try, right?
Yeah. And that's the value of putting the manual combination lock in. We've done other games where we thought, "Oh, let's not do that again," but it really is missing when you don't have it. Because some players like to just mess with it. I will also say I love the way we did puzzles because the numbers are not always the same, right? You can't just look up the number on the internet. The painting, I think, has variations.
Oh, did we do that?
Change the number,
For real?
right?
It only in Dishonored 2. In Dishonored 1, it was static ones, like always the same. So actually, you could.
You could just look it
But
up.
I think it works too anyway because some people don't like this, and even if they look at the the thing on the net, then they don't have to care about it. But they don't care about it anyway. So
Do I have to rotate the fucking wheel before I can? I have to put the numbers.
it clicks
Yeah.
when you get
Oh,
the
okay.
right one.
Thank God. 4 is not that. 3, 4, 7. Oh, come on. Which one did I forget? 3, 7, 4?
I think you kept rolling it. I think it has to stop for a second on the right code, Steve, that you've actually intentionally done it, and then it makes a chunking sound, I think.
There you go.
There you go.
that's
Yeah.
That was the last one I tried. Of course.
otherwise, you had the order, like there was a letter giving the clue for the right order, but you can just try like this, yeah, which is good.
Oh, there was?
I thought we randomized the numbers, but I guess we didn't in Dishonored 1. I regret missing the last video, by the way, because Toph was here, right? And I haven't seen Toph in a while.
Yeah.
And
And I really would love.
loved working with Toph, and he is such a big part of the level design team and the sort of adventure game layer and all that.
He's such a pain in the ass, too. He knows, though. So, anyway, we all are in some ways.
That was kind of you to add that at the end.
Well, you only say that because you don't work with him anymore. I do.
And you snuck up on that aristocrat. He was mumbling some more world building shit. We tried to make the aristocrats so over the top in their greed and how they see other people as lesser and they see themselves as superior because they got rich, even though they probably inherited it from their family. And it's just like we were just constantly on that, and
Did I just come back?
Yeah.
Huh. See, my sense of orientation is so bad. Okay, so all right, cool.
There's signs on the right that tell you which way to go.
Yeah, they always say if I never read the instructions. There we go.
And there's a map on the left that shows you the bridge.
You know, we had a problem at some point because we wanted the night to fall between each part, and then we realized that you can go back to the previous section and suddenly, oh, the sun was rising again.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Remember that I know we changed the time quite a lot. Well, because of the story with the curfew initially, which was end of the day. Then we wanted like a sunset, some more at night. Yeah.
All right, so Arkane, I can sense this is gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh, all right. It's gonna be a reload.
I was about to say, heal, drink a potion.
Yeah, no, that's. It's the kind of game where, like, when you're caught by too many people, you know, it's pretty much time to reload. Plus,
You can see some crazy people.
I know, yeah.
playing the game. I don't understand how they are doing stuff, but they are killing everybody, sneaking, and
Yeah,
so creative way to deal with stuff that
it's like when you play the guitar and then you see someone else doing it with, in the back and doing some crazy solo. It felt like that. Yeah, I can play Dishonored, but not like this guy,
Yeah, right after we shipped, people figured out that there was a bug where you could blink under locked doors. So speedrunners were like blinking under locked doors somehow.
Ah. Okay, there's no way around this thing.
You know, wasn't our VFX artist Thibaut mostly? Thibaut and somebody else?
Yeah, there was Thibaut on the first one. Yeah.
Yep.
Is this where two in Arkane?
I don't know. I swear the gunpowder, the 1850s technology, the sort of Nikola Tesla-like stuff, like the arc pylon when it turns people to smoke, it just like burns their bodies to ash. All those VFX are some of my favorite VFX ever because they're so dirty and industrial.
Yeah. What?
One thing that I like also is how you're playing currently and how you die is that it's cool because at some point we are trying to have death animation for the player and it doesn't feel right and because we had all the geometry and stuff like this. And at some point we are dealing with, we need to have tons of different animation and we are not sure. And you say, okay, let's go to ragdoll. It's possibly that it will roll and probably it will be really, really bad because there's too much movement. And at the end, it's what.
Yeah, it's a good win. Yeah, it's a cheap win. Yeah.
Almost every time there's someone on your project who is like, oh, that would be sloppy, and would sometimes you be looking at the corner of the wall or under a table. Let's do some nice death animations. And it's like, it just doesn't work on stairs or over the railing. And this feels more dynamic. Almost every time there's an argument like that, if you go dynamic, it's just way more satisfying.
Yoann, I suppose it's something we talked a little bit with Joe last time, but there's always this challenge of placing your NPCs and your call for help zones in a way that you can still have contained moments of fights and tension without having the entire level that bleeds onto the area, and now you have like this impossible situation where you just emptied the level, right?
Yeah, it's always tricky. And I think because of the freedom we want to give to players too, like it's hard. We want some kind of pacing and we try to do it, but at the same time, I think we also accept that it's always a bit messy, not as we planned.
It works well though. It feels like it feels natural. It's not too overwhelming. As you were speaking,
the bridge was good for this, I think.
I love that thing where I can hide under the tables. As you were speaking, I was realizing this feature we did, which 2 levels of crouches, 2 heights of crouch. And there's a little funny story behind that. We back then, Harvey and I, we thought, man, wouldn't it be great to be able to, so you can crouch, but now you can crouch even lower. And we thought it cannot be that complicated, right? And we're not programmers, but we kind of understand intuitively what's going to be more complex than something else. So we thought that should not be that bad. And we asked the programmer back then, one of the programmers who was working on the systems, and he was absolutely not. This is going to be super complicated. I was like, how can it be complicated? You can crouch, and then you have some sort of a if then, and you duplicate the crouch thing, and you put another function that would crouch lower, right? And it was really apparently impossible. And then eventually another programmer overheard that, and it did it like in a day. So that was one of those dev story moments where we go like, okay, that's like I wish I could program myself sometimes, because I never know when people are lying to me or when it's real. But that was the story of the small crowd.
Never trust programmers. That's the basic rule. What I'm curious about is what happens if the NPC wants to fight you when you are under the table.
Well, that's okay. So that's feature creep, right? We started with this and said, okay, cool, it works. And then of course it creates this kind of thing. And well, in this case, what happened is they just attack, and because their attack is not on the sword itself, but in a region, then it would still work. But of course, it did create some problems like that. For example, if you go into not under a table, but in a tunnel, and they're outside, they just wait. They go. I think they go out of LOS, right? When instead of looking stupid and just waiting in idle, taunting.
I thought for Dishonored 2, you have them crouch down and reach under the table with their sword, don't they? Don't we? Yeah.
Definitely. For Dishonored 2, we did, but I think for the one, we also had something.
We could try.
I would advise you to.
It's another reason why we almost always give enemies ranged weapons. So in Dishonored 1, even a guard can reach down to the ground, and they pick up like
a rock,
a rock or broken brick or a bottle. And if they're indoors, it's different stuff than outdoors, I think, just to sell the fantasy of it. But they can throw shit at you.
Yeah. Is that oh yeah. I like to rewire so much. I don't know why it's so. I feel such a cool cheat, but
I absolutely love it too, and it's like putting out the torches in Thief, where you now own an area, you know.
Yeah, and it's hard to reach, and once you have it, you know it's gonna be, Now I don't want to. Oh, I got 4, so that's okay. That's okay. Notice how we did this thing where you can open but close again, as opposed to just open and leave it open, and now it's not interactive, which brings more junkiness into the system, because of course if I want to point at the thing, now I have the risk of closing it back, but somehow we are obsessed with simulation in a way that no, we got to go all the way, right?
What if we want the NPC to perceive that the thing has been opened?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You need to close it again, but we did not do that.
Yeah, I think what you're pointing at is that when we actually let the systems run in a logical way like that, it allows for more gameplay. It allows for more new ideas for the level designers to use in their missions as well.
True.
And we have worked on projects where guards would notice broken windows and stop and comment on it as a distraction or whatever. So it's not out of the question that we might have done that,
Right. We actually did it for Dishonored 2, actually.
Oh, okay, right.
We called that, tempering, and we would have the NPC notice even like some missing object. The NPC would be able to perceive it.
Hey, what happened to that? It was here a minute ago. Yeah.
Yes, that kind of thing. But I think we did. I vaguely remember us doing something remotely like that in Dishonored 1, but maybe for very specific cases. But the Arc Pylon panel opening, like, obviously we did not do that. Like, that's...
Which is funny, because one of the famous game about stealth, which was Thief, for example, and that was one of the key things that bring me basically to video games too, is that you had a lot of concept, and one of them was a rope arrow, which was amazing. And guards were noticing stuff, but you shoot a rope arrow in the middle of a room, and there is a rope, and they just didn't catch it at all.
Right.
Which was funny because, in fact, it was easy to simulate because that's one of the key things that I've done when I was beginning to learn, they released the editor, and it was just then adding an effector, and when the rope was spanning, it was emitting simple particles. I don't remember how they called them, emitters, and then guards could detect that.
Right.
And suddenly, it was way better, but all of these bring also other issue after that. How do they react? What are they doing? And all things. But
the chain right there, Raph.
Is there a
You
chain?
blink on the chain on the left, yeah. Can't
Oh.
you blink onto the chain?
Yeah, you can, but there's
You can
no
link to them, yeah.
there's no icon to tell me that I can. It's kind of weird. Oh yes, we also rotated around so that it's pretty bad. That's pretty badass. Pretty cool.
which is really annoying with body awareness.
Yeah.
Because you are either sliding or you need a specific animation, but
Yeah.
then when you have weapons and all of this, it's
Exactly. They're in such a win. I mean, it was better for gameplay, better for visuals. It was a counterintuitive move.
I mean, body awareness is cool, but most of the times you find it cool for the first 2 minutes of the games where you look at your body and all of this, and then immediately you see what is wrong, and so people are just thinking that my feet are sliding, or I'm I have 1 foot which is not on the ground.
Yeah, an analogy to that would be long hair versus short hair, right? In Half-Life 2, I remember back then, doing hair was difficult for people back then. It was in 2000 or something. And so they made the decision that all the characters would be either bald or short hair. Even the women, they were really short hair. So they just avoid the problem as opposed to highlighting the problem. And in a way, doing this with the body awareness was a bit similar.
Yeah, players forget basic stuff right off the bat, and they're just playing the game, and then you don't have to worry about that stuff. But I love our level designer so much because there was another chain to get up one more level, but there was some boards in front of it, which is just like a simple thing. Anyone can break the boards, but it makes noise, and it's also just like another intentional act. Instead of getting up, seeing the chain and go, oh, okay, this is the way they want me to go, you have to actually do something. You have to interact in order to reveal the chain and then go up. And it's like little touches like that everywhere that made the game, you engage with it so much,
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if something tells me I'm gonna die here if I jump, but I'll try.
Kind of amazing that we did for the drop attack, we let you kill any inertia from the fall. So no matter how far you do a drop attack from, you don't die.
Yeah, and we did a DLC based on that. The first DLC we shipped was the Dead Wall City trio, and that was
shit.
that crazy level when you would like go from drop down attack to drop down attack.
Yeah,
do some kind
that
of
was
parkour.
really fun to see what people did with Dead Wall City Trials.
You missed the river coast.
Where was Piero? It was here? Oh no, it's not Piero.
No, the Piero, it's the river crest, like the weird.
Oh, that's why there was this weird ass noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Intense. It is a long
I
level.
think you had to finish. Did you complete the objective actually before? Because then we did a.
Oh yeah, I had to move the drawbridge, right, for
It's to turn off the spotlights actually.
for Samuel to be able to come by. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Forgot about that. He said, no matter what, you've got to get the drawbridge lights
Yeah.
off so that I can approach.
Yeah, you probably did that so that the player cannot do what I did, right?
Oh, we're totally slowing the player down as much as possible.
Oh
Like,
shit! I'm gonna have to reload then, I guess. What could I do?
You can go back up quickly by climbing like the way you slide down. I think with double jump blink you can go there quite easily.
Like here?
Yeah. And like from the top, probably like some double jump blink directly to the balcony on the left or something. Yeah, or like
Ah.
a bit clunky maybe.
All right. My head is rolling. Let's
The
save it.
mobility was super cool for level design, like because actually from the bridge you went through like on the moving like the drawbridge, but you could go all the way to the very top, which was just for fun, like not really needed, but like with blink, double jump, etc. It was super easy to go.
Was it here? No, where am I here?
Oh,
Oh,
you have to go back now.
I could go back the other way.
The third level now, yeah.
I wonder if I have another save game that is earlier.
Sorry, I cannot save.
Which one would it be? There's a 1418 and then there's 1438. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's see if this one is better. Yes.
Go.
All right. I like that better.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
So,
nice.
oh yeah, there we go. Here. When I saw the door locked, the door closed, I thought it would be locked, and I had to do something else again.
Oh,
Yeah, if you look to the right, you should see some.
What?
I think you should see. It was Sam, right? The guy like the boatman. You should see him like
Oh, it's coming.
sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lost in the vista somewhere.
All right, let's do that again. This time I'll try to be more careful.
Well, maybe it's still not come by. I don't know.
Up, jump, kill.
Oh, that's the river cross.
Let's go. Controversial the river crust was.
Yeah, no.
Because I felt like we needed a turret that you could put anywhere without guards, in a sewer, against the side of the bridge, whatever. And it's just a plant that spits acid, but it does feel a little bit. We were trying to make the world weird and not quite Earth, but also it does feel a little alien.
Yeah, it felt fantasy, or yeah, it felt from a different game almost, but it kind of worked though.
It does work for what its level design purpose was for, yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe how long is our blink, man, compared to the base blink.
Yeah, you have it upgraded, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I remember, like this section, I think was completely different too. I think there was a tavern at some time, like here, and we transform it into an industrial part, like a bit more puzzly.
I guess I'm gonna do that.
Many stuff. On...
Can I? Yeah. There you go. Woohoo! Oh. All right. That was.
And I'm pretty sure this section of bridge is the one that was the E3 demo, right?
This last one?
I can't even remember, man. So at E3,
Yeah.
we're.
There's some people
From
to
what I
save.
remember, it was just the last part, yeah.
There's some people in a cage that the guards have arrested that you can save, but if you save them before turning off the arc pylon or wall of light, they all die or something. I barely remember all this.
Oh, there's a yeah. Those are prisoners. I remember that scene.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna help them because I'm not yet.
Up high, though, there's a
Up.
reward. There's a reward up there somewhere above you.
Above me.
Safe or a ruin or something. I think there's a safe just below you now.
Good memories.
There's a save beer on me.
Look behind the painting or somewhere up here, just below you, one floor below.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Even though we're all
Oh, I don't have the safe
field
though.
boatmen.
Oh, no, I need a combination. This is like a secret of the secrets. All right. Well,
Oh, you know what? One of the prisoners knows it. That's what it is. That's why you helped him.
makes sense. Just moving around the map is so fun, actually.
Yeah, the mobility's great. I was just looking at that sunlight coming in. It's so beautiful. The golden hour stuff that everybody did, like all the lighting artists. And I heard Ken Levine recently say BioShock, which is one of my favorite games, like is stylized because the style doesn't age. You can still play the game and it still looks beautiful. Whereas if you try to chase photorealism, it's hard to achieve, it's hard to make consistent, and also it dates itself, it ages. And I'm so happy that we ended up with a very stylized world here because honestly, you could still play it and it looks fantastic in my opinion.
Yep. Can I go through this? No. I did not realize there was a thing. Okay.
But you can enter like just above. If you want.
Just above?
Yeah. Or below, on the left, on the right. Like usual.
Yeah, right. Oh, I see a chain over there. Can I do that? No, it's too far, right? Yeah, it's too far.
Too far.
The guards are talking about Sokolov and what work he's doing for the Lord Regent, and
Yeah. Everything is an opportunity for storytelling. Oh, I should probably be able to do that, right? No. We need more men. All right.
There's more simple on the left.
Oh, here. All right, I remember that was a complicated area. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, in my opinion, this area is a triumph of level design escalating difficulty, because by the time you get to this floor, if you go down there and try to get the painting and try to loot the whole area, it's actually really hard.
Right, but here I'm being a little more like, let's say, cutting corners. How do
we reworked this area like quite late actually. We changed the building quite a lot, so we already had quite a lot of experience with what was working well with the game, like the mechanics, everything. So we did it quite quickly. I think with Christophe Lefort, like the level artist on this mission, and like it was like super cool and yeah, I think very fun in the end.
Can I? Do you think I can blink under this thing over there?
Yeah, there's a pass.
It doesn't look like it.
Maybe the blink and auto crouch didn't work immediately. You had to blink and then you can go in there.
If I fall in there, I mean, I'm gonna try.
I think you can blink to the light fixtures, though. Even though they look light, I think we allowed many of the chandeliers you can blink to, I think.
Yeah. That's a weird... Oh, turning ahead.
The drunken whaler. I'll never forget going to the Spike VGA Awards. The little girl that was the vocalist for the Drunken Whaler stood in front of this giant crowd in front of a live orchestra. It looked like the Galactic Senate, you know.
That was pretty incredible.
And she's just standing there like singing this song, and I was sitting with you, and it was like a magical moment for us that night. We won.
Yeah.
Jessica Alba gave us an award. It was like super cool.
Yeah, it was a memorable moment. All right, I think there we go.
Where he has this hydroponic weed.
I'm sleep dart his ass.
I think this was a cool moment because we showed him recording one of the audiographs, right?
Yeah.
Like, often you just find those in the world, and you're like, who are making these messages or whatever? But he's actually standing there recording notes at this point. And I don't remember what we did if you play it back, but I think it dynamically stops where he died, or where he went unconscious.
Do we? Oh yeah.
Probably a bit more simple. Probably like if he finishes, you have the full audio log, but if he doesn't, like maybe he doesn't record it, so like you just don't have it. I don't remember exactly. But I don't think we could cut dynamically at any time.
We might have ended it halfway or a third of the way or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Cool. Should we leave? I guess I could talk to that woman. Yeah, so beautiful. Such a beautiful level. It was a oh, this guy. It was a rich game. Like there's so much to do and possibilities.
Could have called this guy from E3. He could have finished this video in 5 minutes.
Hey, is there a way? Do you know if there was the chaos? Was it a one-way road? Like once you were in high, there was absolutely no way to come back in low, or do we readjust both ways?
No, it averages across over time. So if you have a certain number of kills early on, that's high chaos. But like, if you don't add any more kills and you go across more of the game, then that number is actually low relative to the potential kills, I think.
Okay. So I still have hope.
And there were some actions which could lower your chaos. I think, like for example, freeing the prisoners below. If you do everything right, whether survive, etc., like it would lower a bit your chaos too.
All right, maybe I should try that because I feel sloppy about it. You know, there was always this debate: is there the good ending and the bad ending? It kind of was. I mean, I think when you have the chaos, it feels like you being, you're not being a good person, which I think most players like to be a good person.
Yeah, it was kind of stunning that people were like, you're judging me. Some small subset of players were like, you're judging me.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, if you murder everyone on the street, that's right, we're judging you,
Right.
And I know you can do that in most games, but most games are about zombies or whatever, and this is like the people that live there, they're under the oppression. It doesn't seem like a crazy idea. Say, don't kill everybody in the street.
Yeah. There we go.
Well done.
Well, guys,
I'll probably be on my deathbed, like 95 years old, hopefully, and I remember the name of Samuel's boat is the Amaranth. And it's like, I don't know why I remember little details, but I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was a fun playthrough. Great level. Thank you, Yoann, for working on this fantastic game.
Good, thank you. Christophe Lefort did an amazing job on the art part too.
Yeah, it looks really good. He,
Of course, Étienne and Zab for touching not the level, but like every single action all the way through,
Yeah, I actually remember that I've been fixing bugs in the Sokolov apartments, but I don't remember which bug it was. So, but yeah, I have like it must have been hard because I have very precise memory of the displays and me working on it. So
maybe it was, I don't know. Actually, you didn't see it, I think, but we had the musical overseer, probably the first of the game, like in the house. So I know he was quite specific, so maybe some stuff like this.
it's okay.
I'm gonna see
This
Emily.
level, I think we introduced like the overseers and the arc pylons. I guess was the first time too.
Yeah, we're always doing this introduction table, right? Where like at first it's just the guards, then later we add the wolfhound, then later we add somebody with a grenade, then we add an arc pylon, and it just like keep escalating, so that hopefully you still see new things halfway through the game.
I knew there was over there.
This is Emily's tower, right?
Yeah. That's pretty cool that we did all these things optionally. It makes the player feel more invested if they decide to do that.
Having a nightmare.
I'm here. Yeah, it's cool. I'm just gonna steal everything. That's kind of like a leftover from our thief influence, right? On this game, we were like, man, we're just gonna steal paintings and everything and golden chalices and anything we can find. Oh, where is my bedroom again? Nope. I guess it's over there. I remember the layout of this place. I never got used to it.
Yeah, it's always a little labyrinthine. But the street speaker announcements allowed us to do such dynamic stuff. Like what you did in the previous mission, whether you killed somebody or had them arrested or whatever, all of that could be reflected dynamically. And players love that sort of player acknowledgement thing. Tell me how I did, you know.
A little detail I forgot that Toph reminded us last time. Do you remember we can kill actually at some point the speaker?
Yeah, the radio guy.
Yeah, and then it's Susan Sarandon that is Carrie Fisher. It's Carrie Fisher. Sorry, Carrie Fisher is replacing him. Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Hey, that was an effort on our part because he sounds so authoritative, and we deliberately told her to sound worried and unsure of herself, and so it feels like the empire is falling because they put like the fifth person in charge now doing the street speakers, and she was fun to work with. You know, she recorded the messages and was laughing about everything and enjoying it. You know, so it was a good thing.
Oh, that's so cool that he comes here. And then I can be a dick to her. I can be nice. That's cool.
I'm sure we all have the same story, but the number of people who were playing super violently, and then they visit Emily's room and she's got the drawings, or she puts them in your room, I think. They're psycho drawings, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
I bet I'm gonna get this one. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it. But I think that's where I'm gonna save for this playthrough. Just gonna go back down.
Great seeing you guys again, Étienne, Xav.
Yeah, right. It's been a while. Let's save, and well, the thing is, we all somehow are still working on similar games, right? This is a spirit. It's not just one game. We love that kind of games, and somehow we all keep going in our own ways in similar games because that's what we like to do.
Yeah, and I was just thinking earlier when you were talking, you were texting me about, you know, this being today, and the bad games I've worked on in 32 years or whatever it's been. You know, you spend a lot of time reflecting on why they were bad and what mistakes you made and how you could have done things differently. But the good ones, largely, you just remain proud of them and such fond memories of the people you worked with. Like, you know, the several times that's happened for me, it's just like I have such warm feelings about the whole experience. You know, I know it was hard and we fought and bad things happened, of course, but like in general, you look back and it's the work and the player's reaction that just like stays with you forever, you know?
Yeah, like those rock bands that you know, they had a hard time, but it was so cool, and it's nice to reunite and remember. Well, everyone, thank you so much. I mean, like, this is the 4th level that I'm playing. Definitely feeling the cool of the game. There was definitely something special about that game. So I understand it a little better. I was wondering sometimes because I hadn't played since it shipped, basically, and I didn't even play the shipping version. And I remember the game was good, and I know we made an impact. But this has been 14 years now almost, and people are still talking about it, and I wanted to dive again into it, and so that's why we're all here, and so we can appreciate with a little more distance and reconnect with the game, which is a cool opportunity. Thank you all. See you sometime soon.
See.
Au revoir.
Yeah.